In Philadelphia so far.
Oh, it's fast. We got in late.
Got in very early this morning. We did a 3-hour drive from New York, but it's a beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, sorry, wherever you want.
Yeah. Do you guys want those closer? Are they okay there? Or
All right.
whatever?
Oh, mine's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's like a Georgian English town. I mean, it's stunning. So
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, our experience of it has been driving from the hotel to our radio interviews this morning, but what we've seen has been great. And then we hopped back on the train to New York in 2 hours or something like that. So short. It's been short.
You won't see a lot then.
Next time.
I had one gentleman come in and say, it's like a real city.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have a town that actually has some kind of individual character.
Yes.
It is. We were actually just discussing the sex scenes within Rogue,
Oh
which
boy.
are...
Talk shop.
I'm just going to jump in there.
Let's get weird.
So they're incredibly graphic, and at the same time I like it. They're showing a little bit of the male nudity, a little bit of the testicle action, a little bit of the...
You know what? We had a female director for our theme, which I was appreciative of. I actually haven't seen the finished product, but...
It looks excellent. I mean, it's very sleek, and only people with excellent bodies can do that. But how was it choreographing that, or handling that?
Choreographing. You can choreograph it.
You know, with a scene like that, you take an awful lot of time making sure that you're getting it right because it's important, you know, and that you want to address the scene as you do any other, you know, because it's telling a story. It's not just a sex scene there for sex's sake. And so we spent an awful lot of time talking about the reason that it was happening and what we were trying to achieve at the end. It wasn't just an empty bit of porn.
Oh gosh, that word.
Well, exactly. So it's very important that it's setting it up. It's there for a reason.
We discussed the scene for 2 weeks at least before. I mean, it was my audition scene essentially. I went through a handful of auditions, and my final test was a chemistry read, what they call, between Joshua and I, this new actor that they just brought out from the UK, who they cast as Alec, and so really that was to test the husband-wife bond sort of thing. We literally workshopped that scene off the page for my audition. So, it was it's a very strong, very powerful scene, and I think that we honored it that way, honored the intention of the scene. It's not about, to me, it's not a scene about sex. It's a scene about just very, very high emotional stakes and power play and those strong elements. So,
what did you use to get into the mind of the character?
Well, the writing actually gave us an awful lot of help, and we were able to talk to the show's creator, Matthew Parker, who was on set every day, and he adopted a very collaborative relationship with all of us, and so we were able to kind of build those characters and grow with him. Excuse me. So, I mean, other than our individual kind of what's the word? Model for each of our characters. Matthew had a very good idea where these people were coming from, so we talked to him an awful lot, and he'd let us know what it was that he wanted, and then we were able to bring a lot of our own stuff to the plate. And I know that each person had their own, paying homage to their own idols or whatever it was that they drew their experience from.
to me, the show is very much it's a very character-driven show, and the characters are defined by the relationships between one another. So, my understanding of Kathy, it came to life when Josh and I were working together in the audition test. All of a sudden I really understood her and her place in the grand scheme of things in the Laszlo family. And
one of the things I drew about my character was his volatility was key to the show, and I watched an interview that Charles Manson had, and he just suddenly flipped. His character came out of nowhere. It looked like it even surprised him, and he had these two sides of him, and that fascinated me. And so I really tried to delve in with Alec and work out what it was, what his triggers were, and that was really, really important. And sometimes those come at the most unexpected times.
for me, I liked to kind of draw on just strong female archetypes, because to me Kathy is such a strong woman, and she seems like nasty and hard at times, but to me it's grounded in a female instinct and a kind of protective grizzly bear, wanting to protect her family, and and so I just kind of played around with different female archetypal, I don't know, figures that, you know, you draw inspiration from and connect to.
Now, what was it about the script or the show that first brought you into it that made you interested in auditioning for it?
Well, look, shows like this don't come around a lot. They're incredibly thin on the ground, especially with writing this high quality. And so, when something gets thrown out there into the showbiz world, we all hear about it very, very quickly. I was filming a film in the Czech Republic at the time, and I thought I was going to miss the boat. And I came back, and they still hadn't cast my character, and I auditioned for it and managed to get into it. But you know, Crime Syndicate Families, anything about the mafia and about that underworld in America. That's a Harley. About that underworld in America, you know, it's something that no one would want to miss out on. You look at the Goodfellas and you look at Scarface or Boardwalk Empire. I mean, although those are all, you know, nostalgia shows, they're incredibly popular. And as an actor, you don't want to miss out on an opportunity like that. And from the minute I picked up the script, I was hooked. And I think you hear actors say that a lot, but Matthew's writing is incredible. I don't know what on earth goes on in that man's head, but I certainly wouldn't like to be his wife. It's remarkable, the complexity and the intricacy of web of worlds that he's entwined is incredible, and it's an honour to be an actor when you've got a script like that, because so often you get handed dowsy scripts that just, you know, feel like a puppet. And
when the script came my way, or it was something that Tandy Newton, of course, was attached to immediately. I mean, I knew it was going to be a quality project, and I had curiosities about it being a TV show that Tandy was doing. You know, she's done some brilliant films, and after reading the pilot episode, it was very clear to me, okay, the show it's different. It's very good. The writing, as Josh said, is just, it's intriguing, and you know that when it's a good read from ink on paper, when it draws you in from just reading it, you know it's something good. You know, there are some just very human portrayals of these unique individuals in very heightened circumstances.
2 more questions.
Okay. Josh, you brought up the idea of the volatility of your character, and I noticed that in the first 2.5 episodes, you were very restrained. There's the scene you're in the laundry, you're looking very, you know, a little flat. You're in I'm trying to remember, the gym with your wife, the playground with your wife, and again, watching your child, and again, there's that restrained flatness, and then all of a sudden at the end, there's that trigger. So how will we see this more inner, it's not insanity, but I'm just going to call it inner insanity, this darkness in your character that's popped out? How will that play out for the rest of the season?
well, we all really felt that Alec was like a coiled spring, and he just exploded, these little explosions, and we had to be controlled of it because you don't want to give away too much too soon. And the whole thing with Alec is that he's been emasculated by his father his entire life, and he represents everything that his father's come from. And this is really important with the dynamic in our family, because the 2 brothers represent the 2 sides of Jimmy, really. You know, the brains and the brawn, where he's come from and where he's going to. And Alex, he's worked himself up in the street. He's taken the trash out. Literally, he's done the hard work, and he's there every single day. And it's not enough for his father, because what his father wants is to move forward in a straight direction, which is Max. And so we really had to play a patient game, because it wasn't something, we're not just coming to this character straight off. Alec's been having this for years and years and years, and so that it's just coming to a climax with him. So we had to play away to it, sort of like playing with a snake.
Thank you.
Last question.
Is it difficult to shake off the intensity of what's going on, and then how do you do that?
Yeah, it's...
We were talking just the other day. It was very difficult to shake these characters off.
You shed the skin, right?
Yeah.
Because these characters are all very sort of well-defined, and I mean, for me, I'm not Kathy Laszlo. I know nothing of being Kathy Laszlo in real life other than, you know, sort of softening and trying to compassionately understand this woman, and but just the heightened emotional stakes of everything and the dark places that the show does go throughout the 9-part series is just it's tense.
It takes its toll. It takes its toll on you. But I mean, we were up in Vancouver and we had an amazing time. The guy that plays my brother, Matthew Beard, I bought an old 1950 Dodge when I got up there, and we used to drive around and we'd go on these trips and climbing mountains together. And most of the adventures we had were from the car breaking down. But, so we we explored the intricate bar system that Vancouver
There was
has.
much hard work and hard play, I'd say.
It was a really good family dynamic, and everyone got on really well. And because you're dealing with a show that the themes are so hard and gritty, when you stop, you want to just have loads of fun. And so
It really bonds you really quickly too, because all of us were going there, you know, and you could shake it off together. But, yeah.
He was in a Dodge, what were you doing to decompress?
Other than driving a broken down Dodge. Just like, you know, my Zen things like yoga and just trying to come back to myself, because to be Kathy you know, on set, it's you want to just come down from that and just decompress. And so I was doing like 2 yoga classes a day. And just
Wow.
Really, seriously. Yeah, and just, you know, being domestic with my family life. And, coming back to. But you have to peel away from that after the show wraps, because you're going in and out of it day to day. So you have to peel out of it like after the 4 months of filming it. So, yeah. Part of the joy of acting. Being, and then
You never want to channel the Lady Macbeth with your kids? Get in line.
Right? I know. If Kathy come out once in a while.
And we did only just a day, wasn't when it finished. We all kind of, we had 1 day off a week. We filmed for about 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. And then the day off that we had, we all sort of melted a little bit. So it did sort of, you had to
More than a day.
shake
Yeah, it
it
takes
off
way
and-
more than a day.
and rebuild.
Yeah.
Especially for those of us who were kind of in it for days.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, it's not